What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Oh, there it is. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be working on this piece of shit of mine called a Nissan 240SX. Let's get right into it. All right, guys. So in today's video, we will be diving into tearing down this motor that we have. This is a KA24DE. This motor only has 60,000 miles. And this is from 1991. So let's dive right into it. We're gonna fully disassemble, you know, just get it ready to build in the future when we have the funds to turbo this car. But yeah, let's dive right into it. So first things first, I want to bring this motor inside the tent due to it's freaking hot as fuck out here. Sun is blazing right now. But I want to bring this motor in the tent, but this is gonna be kind of difficult because the ground is just literally ground and nothing else to it. This is the tent that you guys seen in the last video. Of course, I did some painting in here with my 350Z. I got a shelf now to organize all my stuff. This is all brand new parts for the 240. We got chase bays, power steering, some wiring harness, brakes, all a bunch of other stuff. I got a full ISR exhaust kit that I might not use. I might trade with a friend because he had some, I think 40mm over fenders for the rear, and he said he wanted that ISR exhaust kit, so we might trade, we might keep it. Yeah, I got some paint stuff up there, a lot of good shit. But first things first, let's get this motor in here. Let's attempt to get it in here because yeah, it is hot outside. Motherfucker. It might be as far as she's going to go. At least that's better than nothing. Alrighty, so the plan of attack for today is we're gonna try get the head off. But in order to get the head off, we're gonna have to take off the front cover, take out the cams, the cam gears, the timing chain, water pump, and harmonic balancer. Then we can start working on the lower end, taking out the pistons and the crankshaft and all that. And then yeah, we should be solid. So let's see how far we'll get today with this. Let's get right to it. So guys, first things first, whenever you're disassembling a motor, I recommend staying as organized as possible because when you go to reassemble again or try and find parts to replace on the motor, it gets kind of messy. So Ziploc bags are a must right here. Ziploc bags, a marker to label them, and all your tools laid out on the table. Let's get started. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna take out the harmonic balancer here. So we're just gonna go with a impact. Alrighty, so on the inside, looks like we got some 12mm bolts. So we're gonna whack those. And I know, guys, I'm using name brand tools like Snap-on, Milwaukee, but you guys can use whatever tools you guys have at home. I'm just trying to do this quickly. So now, yep, that looks like it separates. One thing I like to do with harmonic balancers is I like to just thread in the crankshaft bolt a little bit. Get yourself a little puller like so. And if you guys see, you see there's a dip right here on the bolts. There is a little bezel on the puller to fit right into it. We just need to put our pulley on there like so. Let's try bang this boy off. There we go. Keep your stuff organized. I will be replacing the harmonic balancer on this engine, so I might not keep this, but it's always good to have just in case. The crank bolt for sure we need to keep. But yeah, let's move on to the next. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start working my way up. Next to take out would be our fan clutch here. It looks like we have looks to be 10mm, but I could be wrong. Nope, 10s. So open hand 10. Get these little guys out of here. This is actually very nice because my water pump is seized in here. So it is not moving. And why is that different? So the previous owner changed one of the bolts. Okay. Always save your bolts, guys. You might be asking, well, Blaze, you're gonna restore this motor and you're gonna just reuse all the bolts? No. So I'm gonna buy a bolt kit off of Amazon, and we're gonna use these bolts as sizing for what goes into certain things. Next, guys, let's work on the water pump, the actual water pump housing. Those seem to be like 12s. Yep, I was correct. All right, couldn't find a rubber mallet, but I found me a hammer, so let's just, that is very gunky. Yeah, that is our water pump right there. That is crusty. All right, so now that we got pretty much everything off the front, now I want to start tearing down the top. So first we're gonna have to pull off the valve covers to gain access to this front cover, which will have our cam gear bolts and all that goodness. So 10 millimeters all around, go around, be nice to them. Oh no, oh man. Just bend that out of the way. Now these ones up here are important. So when putting back in, whenever putting back in valve covers, do not use electric tools. I learned that one the hard way with my old 240. I stripped one of these and yeah, major oil leak. All right, so that is it. And now I couldn't find a mallet, so I just have a hammer, so just gotta tap it gently. There we go. Oh, wow. And this is our first sign into the 60,000 mile motor. Everything looks gorgeous on the inside. Look how like no scoring on them. They look so good. So usually there's two 10 millimeters on the distributor. Doing some research right now and I found we should pop out this cover first, take off the cams, and then we should be good. So take out the distributor, and then we're gonna pop off this little timing cover on the top. Okay, so we got some 10s right here. These bolts are so rusty that they don't want to grab. And don't forget this hidden 10. And now we can hit these 12s. Now let's give some love taps. There we go. Front cover off. Gives us access to all this good timing shit right here. All right, so there's two 12 millimeters behind the cams that we're gonna take out. And this is just to hold in the shield. Next, we're gonna take out the tensioner. That looks to be a 10 mil. There we go. Next, we're gonna take out the cam gears. And all right, so these cam gears are 24. So pop those out. I recommend impacting these bolts, as if you just turn it, you're just gonna be turning the whole cam. And we can pop our chain out here. There we go. All right, so next, let's pop off the front cover to get to this whole timing assembly. Then we can take it out, take out this top timing, take out our camshafts, and then our head will pop right out. All right, guys, so I tried to make an attempt to take off the front cover, but it looks like we need to take off the oil pan. Oh, the oil pan is getting in the way, so make sure to take off the oil pan first before trying to take out the front cover. But let's take out the oil pan, and I'll be right back. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to cut in between because my battery's dying on the camera, and if the battery dies, then we're going to phone. Very thick and black oil in here. So if you guys ever struggle with oil filters, you remember like last video, I have this special tool from Snap-on. It's actually a Blue Point. It's a Blue Point claw. You can get these from AutoZone. They work exactly the same. Like I was saying, yeah, these claws, very helpful. You just pop it on, twist, instead of fighting it like how I was last time. All right, that comes out like that. Mint. Missed the 10 millimeter on the oil pickup down here. And there's your front cover, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the last couple bolts. And then we're gonna get the head off. We got some 10s right here. And we're gonna just bop off real quick on this tensioner. There we go. Tensioner's out. Pull that back like that. We're gonna replace these anyways. Let's take out these. These are Allen bits. So these are gonna be 6 millimeter Allen bits. Like I said, all this timing stuff is gonna be all changed out. Brand new chain, brand new tensioners when we're done with it. Pull off this. Pull off the timing chain. That top nut is a 19. There we go. Oh no! Pull that out. Now we can work on our cams up here. All right, guys. So, after looking at the diagram, there is a way to take these out. So these are 10 mils. Take them out real quick. All right, gang, camera died midway through that, but we have the cams off now. So now we can gain access to in here where there is the head studs or the head bolts, and we can pry it off. All right, so the head studs are gonna be a 10 millimeter Allen key socket. Do not use electric tools with this. I recommend using a large wrench such as this one, because you will fuck shit up if you do it like that. This is the cylinder head bolt pattern. So we're gonna start off far back side. So exhaust side is number 1 all the way in the back. So now that we broke it loose, now we can come with the electric gun just to zap them all out. Alright, so judging by the head, looks like this, not that bad carbon buildup we have here. Looks like cylinder 2 and 3 had a little bit more carbon buildup, but not too bad. The last motor I took apart was a Toyota 3.4, and these were gunked, but this is not too bad. You can still see some metal. And as for how the pistons look, guys, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. So I wouldn't doubt that the guy that I got the motor from wasn't lying about 60,000 miles put in on this motor, only because this motor looks beautiful. I mean, other than all this like debris and dust and stuff, honestly, everything looks beautiful. There's no scoring on the inside. All right, guys, so now that we have the top end done, we can finally start working on the lower end. So let's try to spin this bad boy over. Oh, there it went. Now we can start getting some pistons out of here. All right, guys, so we're on the lower end. We have to take out the cage first before we can get to the pistons. But I feel like we can get to the pistons before taking out the cage. I think we gotta take out the cage. There's a sequence just like the head to taking these out. And I'll put these diagrams on the screen too so you guys can follow with me. here, here. And so now that we have all that loose, just to save some time, and let's follow the same pattern. So all right, let's get these 10s out of here. So the remain seal, we got some 10s going around. There we go. This one. There we go. All right, so pistons are 14s. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spin over the motor like that. Get 2 cylinders like that. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. There we go. There we go. Piston number 2 coming out. There we go. All right, let's get these other ones out. There we go. Next one. Come on. Give me my piston, please. There we go. Ow! Crap! That thing hit my freaking foot. I stand correct. So make sure to take out your pistons first before you take out this. And look at that. Beautiful. Barely any scoring going on here. Look at these freaking journals. No scoring whatsoever. We love to see that. We can grab this. Camshaft. Or crankshaft, sorry. Alright. Alright guys, so that's pretty much how to tear down the KA. So we're gonna organize all this real quick and then I'll get to the outro of this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me just organize this real quick and then we'll get to it.
I recommend staying as organized as possible.
Alright guys, so that concludes the video for today of disassembling a KA24DE out of a Nissan 240SX. I hope you guys found this video useful or, you know, just enjoyed watching it. But this motor is going to be basically stored for now. I'm going to clean it up pretty soon. Have one of my friends clean it up at their shop. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Have a good one. Peace.